Sojourners of Truth, the rooster or the cock that's crowing in the back at not a morning hour in the middle of the Nizite. Peace, love, and light to you. I am Celestial Earth in this divine energy essence, always reporting to you live from dimension number 5. And today is a day I'm crowning because I'm opening up that crown, letting those light codes come on through and come on down and saging this space on this happy new moon. This is a highly charged day. I'm all types of feelings. Feelings are all over the place because I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm aggravated. I don't know how many of y'all are feeling that. It's like you can feel the pull. You can feel the pull up and you can feel the pull down, if that makes sense. It is chaotic, like that noise I'm hearing in the background. Like it's chaotic, but at the same time, I'm choosing to stay in the center of peace. What makes this so powerful this weekend? The cosmic events. Tap in wherever you tap in at. Let me ping all my light bodies right now, my soul tribers, the savants, and savant is a sojourner of truth. So wherever you are and whatever time zone you are, I'm calling you on right now. Call out to the light crew and the light bodies because this is a special day. This is a very pivotal day in this cosmic event. This day is the day. And I would have been out earlier, but I had to take on to myself. So in this cosmic lineup, we have Third Eye Messenger, Third Eye Atlas, our cosmic messenger, the cosmic Jehudi, the emerald tablets, whatever you want to call it. That's today. Today it's closest to Earth. It's probably just now moving away. Um, and then today is also the new moon. Um, well, today, the 19th and the 20th, depending on what time zone you're in. But there's so much to even be said about that because the cosmic messenger, as it was passing Venus and Mars, it was during the full moon, during a culmination, and now it's bringing it forward into the earth, to the earth. Not that it's landing on earth, but as it comes closest to the earth, it activated. It was already activating, but it put us in a deeper sense of activation. So today was highly charged. At the same time, you may have felt some lows, like just before coming on right now, I was feeling the tugs, like I said, tugging up, tugging down, and the frustrations. It's like, I don't know if anybody else is feeling this, but the energies, it's like now when some of us are getting that breath, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, getting that breath of fresh air, of the new, like the taste of the new earth, like we're feeling it, we're sensing the new true timeline of ourselves, and we're ready to make these decisions, these choice points, and we're choosing. Chosen ones are choosing because they're chosen. However, there's this little pullback. So I don't know how many of you are feeling it, but it's like as you're going forward, you're feeling this. It's like those energies don't want you to. They can feel it, they can sense it, the opposition, the parasitic energy, um, the dark database, whatever it is that you want to call it, dark matter chatter. They can sense that you are stepping out of the straddling the fence in the old timeline, in the old stories of your own, you know, the dimensions in your own mind, and they can feel it. And it's like every chance there's a distraction waiting around the corner. And today I had to really take the time to center myself, be into myself, be with myself, and I had to keep reminding myself to put myself first before anything else. I had an arrangement to meet with some family members today. I also had to, what was that? Something jumped from the leaf or dropped on the leaf. I had to decide, how do I want to go about this? Of course, preparing to do a video. I'll have a video about the new moon and everything tomorrow because I couldn't be bothered with trying to even focus on the video. I really had to take this time to focus on me and put me first and feel these energies, ground in the earth, sit with the light code, sitting with the sun. I had such a beautiful conversation with the sun today. I don't know how many may have gotten it. You might have been walking and felt the sun kind of grab your attention, give you a kiss, and you like kiss you right back at your sun. And the sun is in alignment with the moon. That's the new moon. So the new moon in Sagittarius, which was tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time, about 2 something in the morning, universal time. But all of this is happening. It's and I'm hearing like in what is it? Endearment. I'm hearing something about endearment. It felt endearing. It was engaging and endearing. Whatever we've been pulling ourselves through, especially through that Scorpio season, through retrograde month, there was like this clearing, this clarity. And it feels so good, but I'm not going to sit here and act like it was all unicorns and, rainbow farts. It was the pull, the tug and go. But even as you feel the pull, it's like you're walking forward, but it's like something is still like, hey, and wanting to grab your attention over here, wanting to be distractions here and there. And it was giving you the moment, giving us the moment to still choose you, to still choose your soul's ascension, and still have your third eye focused on Third Eye Atlas and all that we've been getting from it. You can't deny it. I don't see how anybody could deny it. The energies don't lie. The numbers don't lie. The divine numerology lines up. As this Atlas, Third Eye Atlas, comes closest to Earth, it is engaging with us. The Schumann resonance went up. I don't know how many may have seen it. If you haven't, get a chance to check out Stefan Burns. He's really good. I don't know what other term he goes by, but I call him a geologist, scientist, really good at pinpointing and kind of piecing together what's happening with Third Eye Atlas and us at a more factual scientific level. But for those of you who are more spiritually inclined like myself, and who are more looking at the consciousness of Third Eye Atlas and what is really unlocking in the planet right now, it kind of helps you match up what's going on. So today there was a high Schumann resonance at about, I think he said about maybe 2 o'clock or something like that. I'm not sure what time zone, but about that time, I think he said universal time maybe, but about that time, when it was closest to the Earth, there was this peak in the Schumann resonance in the Earth. So for those who are not familiar with the Schumann resonance, that is basically the pulsations of the Earth. I call it the truth resonance because it's the heart. If the Earth is the heart, and it's the heart of the Earth, and it's the pulsations of the heart in the Earth, then it is that truth resonance, that authenticity, because the highest heart is authenticity, right? So I was getting so much. So whatever spirit share, I'm just going to share it with you. And thank you for whoever comes in. And, now you can make me put on my glasses. I was just going to say, feel free to tap in and share the light. Hi, Queen. I got my guy. I can see. Love, light to you. Ashe, ashe. Peace, love, and light. How has this new moon day been treating you? Have you been feeling the energies, the frequencies? Have you been feeling the turn up or the turn downs? How has your appetite been? Like, I've been finding that a lot of people, that's why I had to do the video about the light. I don't know if I got to post it. I may have to check and see. On this platform, I probably didn't post it, but because we are appropriating these light frequencies, so our eating may be different. You may have found yourself eating more, or a lot of people have been saying eating less, or they have found that when they're eating, it feels like you didn't eat nothing at all, which is definitely what I'm going through right now. And for pretty much this week, I've been drinking a lot of tea. I knew I was going on a fast while we were in this vortex, because we're in the 1212 to 1221 vortex. We're actually in a double vortex, and I didn't realize the other one till today because I was so busy focusing on the 1212 to 1221 vortex and the big cosmic event this weekend with Third Eye Atlas, new moon, and winter solstice. So there was a lot going on. And then it dawned on me today, wait a minute, we were in a double vortex and we just closed out the other one today. the New Beginnings Vortex closed out today from the 10th to the 19th, right? And this is something I've been talking about for a while. If you've been with me for a while, you've probably heard me mention the New Beginnings Vortex since like 2023, when it kind of just started to come about. And I follow it because it's helped. It's that New Beginnings Vortex, which is the 10th between the 19th of every month, that has helped me to build the calendar. That is what guided me into the 5D, fifth dimensional calendar. So, ooh, somebody's celebrating right now. Thank you. They must have heard about the cosmic event. I haven't ate or slept. I'm a light worker. Okay, so you know what we feeling and sensing. Ashe, Ashe, Sakari, peace, love, and light. I would like to talk deeply with you about some stuff. Sure, you can email me at akilatextry@gmail.com. My email is usually always in my videos. I usually put it in the description in my videos. If it's not in my live, you can catch it in any one of my other videos. I always post it in there. So you can check me, email me there, and we can definitely dive deeper. I do monthly updates, so a lot of people who want to check in, we have a little small community that we've been building since about 2022. Some people come and go. It's open and free. We do a free one once a month, and we really get to tap in. We didn't do the one for December yet, so you can always jump in on that, and we really do dive deep in these energy meetings. So it's just a lot of the frequencies that are coming up, and that's why, as you said, I'm a light worker. So those who are light worker, I'm like a light warrior, like I'm in there, and a 5D pioneer at that. So everything hits me first a lot of the time, and of course I end up being like the crazy one, like most light workers are, but for me, real crazy. I feel like the world just started to catch up, because I've been this way since I was a child, and I didn't know that it had anything to do with 5D, because I didn't know that language yet, and no one was teaching me that. I didn't have any adults to guide me into that. But when I look back, I know that I was always a fifth dimensional child who the world was not ready for. There was no 5D talk. There was no any of this spiritual talk. There was none of that. So it's now that I'm able to express that, and it's like I get things so ahead of time, sometimes 2 months ahead of time, and I just have to sit with it and wait till everybody catches up. But this event here, this winter solstice, this new beginnings, thank you, Spirit, that's what I was saying, the new beginnings that we've been on. Oh, let me see what you said. I don't have an email. Oh, okay. I'm not human. I'm in a human skin. Oh, you in your human suit. I get you. I say the same thing. And I'm not saying it just to say it. Like, we be human in. There's the higher self. There's your higher octave self. Your starseed self that we are, being in our human suit. So I get what you're saying. Comment. How can I can say comment. You don't have an email, so we'll figure something out. You'll probably have to comment me here, because I don't want to put my number here just like that. Crazy too. I'm lit, emotionally intelligent and sensitive and advanced. A true pharaoh hybrid. Ashe to that. That means you're probably a clairsentient and a deep empath or super empath as well, because we feel everything, as I'm clairsentient, and information comes through the feelings. So a lot of us, like they say, who feels it knows it. A lot of information is coming to us through the feelings. Our nervous system has a lot to do with that. We're calibrating our nervous system. We should understand, overstand, and understand that the nervous system is that in between, is our middleman between our body and our soul, or what I call the mind-body complex. But that's the bridge between it. That's the communication bridge between us is our nervous system. So a lot of it may be out of whack. It's calibrating while these frequencies are accelerating and while we are feeling this Schumann resonance, because as I said, it's a pulsation in the earth. So we are part of that pulsation. We're part of that beating earth. And it depends to the degree that you are in your authenticity. That's another key to it. To the degree that you are in your authenticity, and that means how true you are being to yourself, what you know about yourself, as well as your unconscious self, your unconscious, subconscious self. And that's what a lot of people kind of miss the mark at, because these cosmic events, these opportunities to quantum leap are not just for, it's not just for show. It's not just, oh yeah, it's not like let's get in this and grab this wave. And it is an energetic wave, but it's not just to get the information. It's about what you have in the resonance of your soul, what you have cleared up, what you have faced in your unconscious, subconscious mind. So this is why a lot of people can't find the bridge or get to the bridge or cross the bridge. Some may even be on the bridge but can't cross the bridge, can't fully get over the bridge, because they're held back by the unhealed wounds that you haven't processed, or the karmic trauma on your soul's imprint, right? And so whatever that is, it is to that degree that we are held back or caught in the rapture, right? How they say, oh, we're caught in the rapture. That's what I call caught in the rapture, right? And I'm not talking about the rapture of going up to heaven. I'm talking about that rapture that snatches you out of being able to cross your own dimensional timelines. It is timeline weaving. Like we are literally weaving the fabric of our own timeline, right? And so that's why sometimes we feel in and out. Arcturian, oh, you an Arcturian starseed. I've interacted with extraterrestrial all the time, and there's a lot of that coming online right now. I've done a lot of alchemy and light work. Exactly, alchemy is the way to go. What we alchemize is going to determine where we can transcend to. Alchemizing is our transcendence tool. And the way to transcend is to have accountability. So while alchemizing, it's having accountability for how we show up. I was just explaining that today as I was in that family meeting I was telling you about. I was like, man, I was real bold to have this. Why did I have this meeting on this day? But it was meant to be so. It was a bridge that I had to cross, and share that accountability is a part of it. As I was letting them know, I can only do but so much. A lot of us have to walk away from certain family members. A lot of us have already walked away. But we have to also take the next level in setting certain boundaries. And part of that is having that accountability, facing yourself. So whatever it is that may be coming up within me, the way to transcend is when I have accountability for what is happening with me, to me, through me. So even when you're the quote unquote victim, it's to not be the victim. It's to look within and say, okay, how can I not be a victim anymore? I no longer want to be the victim in my own narrative, in my own stories. It's not about what's happening to me, but it is about what I allow because of where I am and what I attract. If we truly understand the law of attraction, then we know that we have a part to play in what is happening with us or to us. So that's how I have accountability. I don't blame myself for it. But I look into myself and say, what is it that I need to do? What is it that I need to know? And so that I can take myself out of that woe is me or out of that hurt feeling state. Because yeah, in our human suit, it processes it through feelings. We have feelings about what's happening and it hurts. But what the energies are saying now, what Third Eye Atlas is helping us to do in this spiritual maturation, in this Mars maturation, in this Venus maturation, in this solar maturation. It is a total maturation. I was going to say a total eclipse of the heart, because it does have to do with the ecliptic plane, because it's traveling on our ecliptic plane. Like, these are the messages that we have to understand. And so, what is it that I need to know so that I can have true accountability? And the moment you have accountability for how you showed up in it, how you allowed this to happen, not that you wanted it to happen, but something in your misjudgment, in your giving grace, because you think you have to give people a chance and give this a chance, and somewhere there was a misstep or a misjudgment, um not true discernment based on wisdom, but a discernment that was based on bias and preference. And so then you realize, oh my gosh, I made this decision because I had a bias and I had a preference. That's how I have accountability. And when you realize that and recognize it, then you transcend whatever it is that you have been locked in, whatever that little spiral is that you've been locked in, right? Let me see what we got here. I've suffered extremely, no regrets. It served its purpose. Yes, that's what I had to come into the realization to as well. It's like, okay, I needed this, especially from the last full moon in Gemini. I could definitely say that for the last full moon in Gemini. Oh, my little sage went out. I like to keep my space sacred, especially when I'm doing videos like this and feeling the energies. And like before I came out here, I was literally feeling the whole vibration through me because I was doing a meditation with my nervous system. After that family meeting, I had to really like detoxify. You know, I could feel everything that was lodged in me, and I had to really just do a nervous system calibration type meditation. And in doing so, I could feel everything, feel the earth beneath me. I could feel a whole vibration. So yeah, no regrets, and thinking how everything was purposeful and whatever has happened needed to happen, and that those challenges are an opportunity. And it felt good to know that. Like, everything is not perfect, but it felt good to have this clarity. That's one of the things I was thankful for. Clarity and truth. This clarity that allows you to see the truth. It didn't change the situation, it changed how I perceived the situation. It changed me feeling a certain way about the situation, which empowers you. It like, I felt my solar plexus light up. And that's what a lot of us have to do now, light up in our solar plexus, because that is what leads you into the heart. It is the yellow brick road that leads you into the Emerald City. And right now we want to get those emerald tablets, right? The third eye atlas is that what they call the green comet that has the emerald tablets. And so this is inviting us into that. But we have to be willing to take the invitation, to take the steps in the invitation, because it's that time. So what is it about you? Like, my whole thing is focusing on you. And I know sometimes it sounds like a cliche in certain ways that people may say, oh, as long as you really have to look at the you in this situation. The mirror, right? Let me see. Okay, I wish I could teleport where you are. It looks warm. Oh, you must be in a colder, colder region. Warm, peaceful. My mom, extreme narcissistic, Gemini, violent. I'm no victim. That's right. We cannot be a victim to these narcissistic personalities. And the system is narcissistic. I need to elevate myself, but I don't know if the universe wants me to. It depends on what the elevation is. Study thyself, and to thine own self be true. It depends on what your elevation is. I mean, it's always good to evolve and elevate, but for you, what is Spirit saying to you? And in what way? Are we using wisdom? Because a lot of times with spiritual people, they just, and I've been guilty of it too, we'll just say, well, I got to ascend and I got to elevate. And sometimes we don't realize it, but we're inconsiderate to the collective, which is not having compassion for the collective, which is not in the love frequency. Sometimes it's stepping on others and or belittling others because they don't know what you know. And so it all depends on how we are elevating and in what means we are using to elevate. It has to be in true authenticity for self and not in a selfish way. love of self that sees others as yourself. That is the love frequency. This is the expansion of the heart. We're now closing out our heart chakra season. And this is one thing that I saw about the travels of Third Eye Atlas. When they first saw it, they said it was the red comet. They saw it red first and then green. And I've done a video about it from the root to the heart. So that showed me that the travels, as I recognized this at this messenger since October, that's when we came into a tango, so to speak. That's when I feel like Third Eye Atlas winked at me and said, I'm here. October 3rd, I'll never forget it. When I was in Jamaica and doing a video about Mars on the day that it was passing its closest point to Mars. So when it came into its engagement with Mars is when it winked at me, so to speak, when that consciousness grabbed my consciousness, or when my consciousness was able to be at that level to say, oh, I see you, I know you're there. And it was at that time that I was hearing about the red comet that turned green, and I looked at from how it was going to be traveling to December coming to Earth. And Earth is the heart chakra. So I saw the red, the root, and the green is the heart. So traveling from the root to the heart, that's how I saw what was coming together. And I said, oh, I see what's happening. So I'm just sharing with you the travel and the path of Third Eye Atlas and how it interrelates with us, even in our energy centers. Everything is interrelated. Everything is interconnected, interactive. It's not just happening out there. Remember, the cosmos out there are the cosmos in me and the cosmos in you. Every planet connects to an energy center. Every planet. And I mean the planets, not the luminaries, not the sun and the moon, the planets. All 9 planets connect to a specific energy center. And each energy center connects to, it is the rainbow light. It is the rainbow existence and the rainbow light. The promise of the rainbow is the promise in you. And that's also the light, as in the light codes. Colors are a conversation in the light codes. The colors tell you the frequency, the vibrancy, what it's vibrating at, which tells you where to go in your own energy center. And it tells you where to go around you, because there are energy centers in the earth, right? And this planet, and messages come through colors and through sound. That's why sound healing is important. So the coming from the red into the heart was highlighting and showing me that as it's coming in right now, and the red planet, they call it Mars the red planet. So I didn't even see that then, but look at me now. Look at it now. That was the red planet Mars, and it was showing that when we're coming from the root, it's not just the root in the earth. It was highlighting that when they first saw it, it was coming from the direction of the galactic center, which is Sagittarius, right? And as it was coming in, and I want us to kind of picture this, if you can imagine things coming from, how did Earth come to be? It came from Source, the galactic center, where we get all of our light codes that are streaming to us and through our sun to us. Everything that the sun is giving is coming from the galactic center, because the sun is our server. It's our Chrome, it's our Google Chrome server. It serves us. So it's not just here to light up the place, but the information coming from the galactic center into the earth. So when I saw root, it wasn't just root for the earth. And I don't know how many people can kind of see where I'm going with this or make this connection. I'm sure you can. It's the earth, the root that is connected to the crown, if that makes sense. So coming from the crown is the gateway. So coming from the gateway, coming from the cosmos, understanding that everything in the earth comes from the cosmos. So deep in the root that it's coming from the cosmos. Let me say it that way. And that's what that red was saying. This is not just in the earth red and it stops there. This is beyond the earth, that comes into the seed of the earth, from the womb of the universe through the womb of the earth and into the womb of our souls. So coming from that root, that's the root that I was seeing. And then from that, raising it up. So being planted in the earth, root, and then raising up to the heart, which is self-actualization. So coming from the cosmos, from the seed of life in the earth, and risen into the light awareness, into your energetic body of the heart. Just sit with that. Don't that just feel good to know that the universe is interacting with us in this way, that we are every bit much a part of the cosmos. And so that is helping us to come into the expansion of the heart while we're in the heart chakra season. This whole last season has been the heart chakra season. And I know I really need to do a video about these seasons, because I mention it, but I never really explain it. And you're not going to, if you look it up in a book, you're not going to find it anywhere. You're not going to, because this was a download that I got since 2021, around 2022, I believe. Understanding the seasons. And that in every season we enter into another chakra season. So we're with this winter solstice, we're going to now be entering into the throat chakra season. So we needed to self-actualize everything in the heart. And for those who got it, right? Of course, it's not for everybody, because some people are still struggling and straddling the fence and struggling with the old earth while those timelines are collapsing. But for those who are interweaving their timelines, for those who are ascending, who are transmuting, transcending, transforming, excavating their soul, doing their shadow work, releasing what needs to be released, renewing what needs to be renewed by having the release, because you can't renew something without having a release. So those are the ones that are going to be able to self-actualize in the heart at this next level, and then be able to express as we go into that heart, that throat chakra season. This is if you have gained the fullness of the heart expansion. Ashe? I miss the sun. I love sun, right? Right? Heart chakra, unconditional love. Isn't it deep though? Ain't it deep? When you look at it like that, these are the things that I like to share with us. When we're looking at Third Eye Atlas and we're looking at the consciousness as it interacts with our consciousness, what is it saying? What is it highlight? It's not just here for show and tell. Show and tell, just the games I play. No, it's not here to play any games, and it's not just for show and tell. Ashe? Let me see what else is saying. I know what makes your chakras more powerful or spin more. You keep spinning your body in circles. Stare at your thumbs for 360. What is it? 360 minutes? Stare at your thumb 360. You might have to tell me what you mean by stare at the thumb for 360. Is it 360 minutes, or do you stare at your thumb while it's doing a 360? I haven't tried that. But I did used to spin a lot when I was younger. And there was something about that spinning. So now as soon as you said that, that's what came to mind. I saw me as a child spinning and spinning and spinning, and I would notice my connection with the earth while I was spinning. I would notice the feeling. It's like, oh, okay, it's something that made me understand the rotation or the feeling of the earth. Kind of like when you go on a merry-go-round. And I was like, oh, so the earth is always spinning. And then when you spin, like when you're on a merry-go-round and you spin as well, I think that's how I related to it. If you're on a spinning thing on the merry-go-round, and while you're spinning and it's going around, you kind of get that sense. That's how it related to me when I was younger. So that's what you brought to mind. But that's something to look into with the spinning of the body and the chakras. I amplify my chakras all day, every day. I'm always operating through my chakras, or I call them my sekemras, or my energy centers, because they are the doorways to the soul. knock, knock, knock. If you want to get into the consciousness, they are the doorways into your consciousness. Those specific areas are specific areas in your consciousness. And the way that we access it is through those wheels. That is through our core. And it's not just through the core in the middle, it is also in your auric field. You are layered, like the light, your light body around you is layered with the energy centers from root going out. So the furthest layer is the crown. So your first layer would be your root, then your sacral, then your solar, then your heart, and so on until you get to the outer layer. And then I believe around that would be just white, like the soul star. And people see different colors. For those who are clairvoyant, you may see people, like, you may just see all red. Like, I've heard different, and some people can say they see multiple colors. And sometimes that's why, because one color may have a stronger resonance than the other, depending on how you are existing in that particular moment in time. You may be utilizing one chakra more than the other, or that chakra may be needing something more. It may be drained and it's vibrating in a certain way because it needs more. So it all depends, but that's for people who see colors. That's some clairvoyance. I'm not a clairvoyant. I feel colors, I don't see them. I'm clairsentient, so I can feel what people are seeing, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is some good stuff with Third Eye Atlas and what it's doing. And peace, love, and light to those who are in here. 7 of you that are here. And I had to just share this moment. I'll do a video kind of explaining more about what else is so important that I could say right now. Those who are into numerology, right? So as I said, from the 10th to the 19th was the new beginnings, and this closes that out, the 19th. And 9 and 1 is 10. Like, there's a focus on the number 10, which is really 1, right? Because 1 is the only digit in 10. So there's a focus on the new beginning. So the 9 and the 1 is a 10 on the 19th, right? Then you have the sun and the moon at 28 degrees for tonight, earlier tonight. 28 degrees, and that is a 10. 8 and 2, 28. 2 and 8 is 10. So you have 10, 10. And where was another 10? There was another 10 complex, not complex. One of the planets, because there are about 4 planets in 4 placements in Sagittarius. Right? And one of them are at about, is it 10 degrees? I believe it might be Mercury. It might be Mercury. I got to double check. So we have sun and moon. Yeah, I believe it's Mercury. Mercury at 10 degrees, because Mercury is behind Venus, and Venus is about 20-something degrees in to Sagittarius. So there's that 10, 10, 10, which is a 1, 1, 1, and it's like screaming new beginnings. Like, if it don't scream it for you, I don't know what else, to highlight it, but it's like literally highlighting new beginnings. And the storyline that I'm getting behind that is that Third Eye Atlas, which has come from so far, however many billions of light years away, traveling at the speed of light, which knows no time in our time. It's out of time. It's out of bounds, or what I call coming through space-time reality, which is out of our time in space. And it's coming through and saying this is what is new. It is bringing whatever it has culminated with Mars and Venus, which are both our personal planets, and they are the masculine and feminine energy, which represents the receptive and the creative activity. So the modality in which our frequencies move, the plus and the minus, and so it harmonized that. It passed by them when they were by the full moon, harmonizing that, bringing them into a maturation, and then bringing that as it made its way past the sun, made its way to, oh, it was 11:11. It must be you. Oh, you must be in Central Time Zone. That means it's 12:11 probably where I am. I'm in Eastern Time. And so it made its way to this point by the earth, bringing something new, if that makes sense. And what's stamping it out that there is definitely something new and true to be had is the numbers. The numbers don't lie. As I said earlier, energy don't lie, numbers don't lie. So it's stamping that out. New moon, new beginnings. 1 and a 9 on the 19th. I didn't even realize that the new moon was on the 19th, I think, till about yesterday, till about last night, because I was seeing where it was on the 20th, because I was looking at universal time. Even though I don't know why I'm not in universal time, but I'm in the universe of time, as we all are. But I was looking at that UTC time, and it's for the 20th, because for them it was at like 2 o'clock in the morning is the full moon. In Easter time it was 8 o'clock at night, and I just didn't put 2 and 2 together until last night that, oh snap, the new moon is actually on the 19th. And so the third eye atlas that came closest to earth on the 19th, 9 and 1, new beginnings, closing out our new beginnings vortex on the 19th. So there's this story of like the ending to the beginning. And we've been seeing that since about like last month, if for those who have been paying attention, because the new moon in Scorpio was also at the end of its cycle at about, was it 28? It was, I believe it was 29 degrees. So at the end of its cycle, the what they call the analytical degree, the last degree in its cycle. And it was closing out, like it's saying beginning to end, or the end to a beginning. So something is closing out, but it is the beginning. It is the new moon cycle. And we're kind of seeing that again being echoed this time, because it's at 28 degrees, which is still the end of the Sagittarius cycle. And just 1 degree after 27 degrees, which is 27 degrees of Sagittarius, is literally our connection to the galactic center. We're literally facing the galactic center. It's more like a direct connection. So this is very pivotal. Whatever's happening now for you is helping you. The galactic center is definitely involved. We're facing it when we're in Sagittarius. That's why it's pointing that arrow of truth that is facing, and it's pointing to Sagittarius, it's pointing to the galactic center. So everything that is culminated, that has been brought to the new beginnings, you can kind of look at it like Mama Universe, our galactic center, is blessing us. It's the blessing of the cosmos. It's an invitation that's saying you've made it, for those of you who have made it, for those who have been making it this past couple of months, this past year, some since the Great Awakening of 2020. But this is a very pivotal moment where it's the cosmic alignment, the way the cosmic messenger is helping us, because it hailed from the galactic center. It's passing through right now while we are in a position that is facing the galactic center. So it's almost like it's holding our hand, like, come on, let me take you to mama. That's kind of what I'm getting, or how I see it, if I could make it in some kind of plain terminology. Let me see. I left school today and quit 2 weeks before graduate. I didn't like the energy there no more. Oh, you really just up and left. Radical changes. Can you say Uranus energy? That is some strong Uranus energy. Uranus in Taurus. Is there a particular message you're hearing regarding past life and third eye atlas? Intense. And yes. Let me breathe and see what I'm feeling or tapping into. Is there a particular message regarding past life? Past life. I'm hearing it's like how we say past, present, and future is simultaneously existing. So there's a convergence, there's a divergence to convergence. And the past life is, there's a weaving being done. So the past life is converging into the present and future life. The timelines are coming into a convergence for those who are experiencing the divergence, because the only way to come into the convergence is to have the divergence, because there has to be a splitting apart in order to allow those old stories to fall away, or those parts of you that need to merge to have a soul's integration. So the past life is being brought into the present life. That's what I'm seeing, like these layers of it's bringing the dimension. It's like the I want to say like the lines are blurred, the dimensional lines are blurred. And so as it's bringing in, it's helping us to unlock these. That's part of what is being unlocked in our dormant codes. And as it unlocks in us, it's not just what's happening ancestrally in this earth, the ancient ancestor information in our blood, but it is also our cosmic blueprint, if you will. And it's unlocking things in your, you may have to check your earth chakra portal, but things that have been locked in from past lives, but it's all being brought to us, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm seeing the let me know if that makes sense, but that's why I'm seeing the integration or the convergence, because it's being brought to you live, like brought near you, brought to a soul near you, is this infusion. And I'm seeing these two circles for some reason right now, a circle and a circle, like wedding rings, like kind of locked, like they're overlapping each other. So that kind of thing is happening with the past life and with the present. And I'm seeing 5-5 right now. So physical, spiritual balance, which is change. So that message is for someone. Change. There's a lot of change that is happening. And so what's happening in our past life is similar to what I'm seeing, that convergence. It's emergence. So whatever, and it's being revealed to us in this lifetime in a way that we can understand it. So the past life is showing itself up through the soul's karmic imprint. And in that way, some of us are dealing with that through the now moment. So it's almost like the present being brought into the now to be able to deal with it in the way that you can understand in the now moment. Because a lot of us are going that deep. Okay, that's how it's being done. Thank you. It's going deep and being shown something else. It's like, because you're going that deep, because you're doing the deep excavation in your soul, it's removing the debris, removing the blockages, so that that past life can come forth. You don't need to know exactly what is happening in your past life. It is allowing what needs to come forth to come through. Even if you don't know, you don't have to know, well, in my past life, I was this, or that. You may not exactly know what it is. I wouldn't get too overly detailed with wanting to understand the past life. But know that if you continue to dig deep in this now lifetime, and you peel the layers and you keep peeling and you keep removing and removing, eventually you open this path for the past life trauma, karmic trauma to come through. And then therefore you are dealing with that past life in the now life, if that makes sense. Oh, I thought this was my glasses. I'm like, oh, let me see. I hear you saying to check my earth chakra, greed, awareness, go inward. Yes, go deeper, because that earth chakra is the earth chakra is what Pluto is connected to in us, the planet of Pluto, the planet of regeneration, allowing us to go that deep. So going to the earth chakra is like a portal into your every existence in the earth. Every time you have existed into this earth, it's like that information is there. Every time you had to regenerate, you had to be seated in the earth to come back through the earth in your rebirth. Ashe? So when you go into the earth chakra, consider it like going into that deep portal, and you can just ask your higher self, or just ask yourself for permission. Ask that part of you that is really connected to the earth chakra to have that permission to see what you need to see, to bring forth the information that you need through this portal, if that makes sense. Um, what do you see for me, Ashe, Ashe? Am I gonna become homeless for leaving school? Where am I going? I don't know. Ooh, you'd have to do a one-on-one session, but then you don't email. We got to find a way to contact. We got to figure that way out first so we can see. You may have to comment to me on an actual video. Go on one of my videos and then comment to me there, and we can see how we can exchange some type of information, and I'll be able to give you a one-on-one. I do offer one-on-ones. Everything is open to you right now. You're on a brink. You're doing a lot of changes. There's a lot of change, and maybe that's why I kept seeing change here. There's a lot of change. You're seeing the balance, the physical, spiritual balance. But with these changes, there has to be wisdom, and not just, I'm not going to say don't just shift, because that's part of that Uranus energy is radical change. And it may seem like disturbance. It may look like chaos. It may look crazy to someone outside of you. But when you're being guided, and we're at that point right now where enough is enough. And a lot of us are not tolerating old relationships, jobs. Like there's a lot of things that is just saying it's time to change now. And you may have done it intuitively, faithfully. If it's done in wisdom and you've done it intuitively, then there's always a way. You're not going to be left out. Continue to follow the synchronicities and those breadcrumbs, and you're going to find your way. You're going to find where you need to be. Faith is not knowing, but knowing. It's the unknown within the known, meaning you know who you are. You know you're going to be fine because you know the abundance of the earth and the universe has your back. That is always known. But faith is also being willing to walk in the unknown, meaning you don't know the details, you don't know your next step, and it doesn't really matter because the known overrides what is unknown. That takes deep trust. So your trust is going to take you to the next step and the next step. It all depends on how you left, the way that you left, and if you got what you needed to get out of it. If you're through your discernment and you knew it's just time, then it was time. And in that way, the knowing is there. Ashe? But if we get a one-on-one, I can get a deeper feel. It's harder to get a feel right now because it's not so personal. On a live like this, it's very general. It's broad. Like I feel other energies. I don't just feel yours. So it's hard to kind of pinpoint and zero in on. Right? Not saying I'm a fortune teller. I could only listen to what energy shows me and what you have within you. Ashe? We're welcome. Faithfully, you got something out of that. Yeah, continue to walk in the faith and allow these energies to continue to upgrade you, because that's another thing that Third Eye Atlas is doing. It's an upgrade. It is upgrading the planets. It's upgrading our solar system. And it's because we warranted it. It's not just an invader showing up. It's because we have accelerated to a certain point where we sent out the message. Earth is ready. The inhabitants on Earth is ready. Maybe not all of them, but we have enough of us through the Great Awakening that has sent out the message that said it's time. And truth be told, this is the thing about interstellar and universe. Outside of our time-space reality, there is no time, right? It's out of time. So it's hard. It's like they already knew. The universe, the galactic center, they already knew before we knew where we were going to be. And so it travels at a speed of light that is incomprehensible to our human minds. Hard to even really explain, but it's to understand that it's like, and I'm explaining it this way because it's not linear. I'm explaining it this way so that we understand, overstand, and understand. It's not like we just pick up the phone and say, hey, yeah, universe, we're ready. Because there is no time there, they can go ahead of time. It's like they already see it. For us, we call it ahead of time, but they're in space time. And so it's already known, and so it already starts to make its way our way, and it comes from space-time reality into our time-space reality. And then at some point we recognize it on our radar, and because we're a bit more advanced, we can see a little further out. Because of technology and our spiritual advancements, we can see a little bit further out. Some of us have been sensing this existence of this interstellar object of the cosmic messenger before it has been talked about, because we can extend our communication. Some people are communicating with their other starseed families because we can extend the galactic intercom came on. And a lot of this has amped up since 2020. 2022, February 22nd of 2022. That was an important date. 2/22/2022 was an important date. What I now call the 5D independence, because it was official at that point that we are really stepping into that 5D was the new governance or earth that is stepping up. It's not another main government. It was, I believe it was the Pluto return or Saturn return? I don't even remember which planet now, but it was one of the planetary returns at that particular point. And it was to say it's not going to be another government stepping up. It's going to be the self-governance through the fifth dimension. That 5D was stepping up, and there was a declaration of independence to those who were aware of it, to those who made their statements. Even if you weren't aware of it, it was a pivotal time where you said, next step, next level. And so we already have been in this fifth dimensional working in and through. And this is why I said I've been pioneering 5D, because when I said it, I know people were looking at me like I was crazy. Nobody else was saying it. And I still don't really hear people talk about it, but I do. Ever since 2022, I always say it's 5D independence. And I honor 5D independence. And it was a time where a lot of us who were working on the light grid activation, that's when I started working on it and understanding what it is locally and collectively. Our group would work in it together. It would be a divine synergy. And it's by you doing your individual work. And when you come into group settings and you bring your individual work into a collective work, it becomes a synergy that lights up on the light grid even stronger. That is light grid activation. You are activating the light frequencies and the light codes that are coming in. And so we were working on that with the fifth dimension, with the independence of 5D, and we did an energetic seal of the light grid at that particular time. For those who are working on our local light grid activation, there was an energetic seal and a declaration of independence by us declaring what we're doing individually in our soul and collectively for the collective 5D consciousness. And we actually worked on it with every new moon. I still do to this time. I usually do around the new moon. Working on it now. I'll be doing another piece of manifestation of the new earth, as it was shown to me. Every new moon we have an opportunity to manifest, to be a part of the creative process, and to direct that creative process into continuing to solidify the fifth dimension that much more. Every step takes a bigger step. So we all play a key part. The more you do your individual work, the more you release with the full moon, is the more you open up your channel to be able to receive with the new moon. That is how the cycle actually works with us, if we allow ourselves to see it. Ashe came from the most, we're multidimensional beings. Ashe, that we are, that we are. I see a clock with no hands. Tick, tick, tock. I see a clock. I always say tick, tock on the cosmic clock with no hands as the one in the zero, masculine and feminine, finite and infinite, receptive and creative. Ashe. So yes, zero and the one in the zero. Tick, 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 tock. Can we talk about Metatron's cube? What is your resonance to you? I'm very connected to it. Oh, I love Metatron's cube. I work on my Merkaba activation, and I usually encapsulate it in my Metatron's cube when I activate with Metatron's cube. For those who may hear Metatron, you may have heard Archangel Metatron. You may have heard, what's another way of speaking? There's different ways to speak of Metatron. To sum it all up, I will say it is a part of the field of information. It is, from what I see it, it's like it filters. It is the filter of our energetic field of information. It is a part of the Akashic records. So when you tap into the Akashic records, you are tapping into the field of information as Metatron's cube. You are going into Metatron's cube to retrieve this information because it's one and the same. And I say filter because it filters the way the light, the I'm saying, okay, photon belt. All right, spirit. The photon belt, the photonic light that hits our planet, if you will, as it comes into the field. It's almost like Metatron cube helps to filter that. So I also see it as a protectant. That's why I always cover my Merkaba with my Metatron's cube. Our Merkaba is our light body. Merkaba, light body. It's your light spirit body is what it's called. Mer meaning light, Ka meaning spirit, Ba meaning body. So it's your light spirit body vehicle. It is your light body, which helps you to understand that we are really light beings and our body is trapped in the light. So it's kind of like what I explained to you about the layers of light around you. Your auric field, that's your light body. And your body is really trapped in the light. A lot of people see it the other way around and they're like, nah, I'm trapped in my body. It's a little bit of both. It's worlds within worlds and layers within layers. So really our body, while we're here in our body is, it's the light that surrounds our body. It's just that we can't see that light. So we only see the body. And then there's also the light inside. So the Merkaba is when you amplify, you activate your existence. I want to call it flipping your body inside out. Like I feel like it's when you flip your human suit inside out and you acknowledge that your body is actually inside your light. So instead of your body being on the outside, it's like you flip it. I'm in my Merkaba, I'm in my light body. Ashe, does that make sense? And so Metatron, I didn't mean to stray from Metatron, but to me they kind of go hand in hand, because when I'm in my Merkaba ship, then I'm able to travel more freely through Metatron's cube, through the energetic field, as Metatron cube is all of that. And some may see Metatron in like I said, it may be an actual archangel for some. It is still that protector of information, and it's still the filter. That's why you can get so much information through Archangel Metatron, because it is the field of information. Does that make sense? Let me see. So I trapped this body. Got it. Yep, we trapped the light set. And then it folded in and said, but I gotta live on the inside. So we fool ourselves into thinking, you know, the body is running the show. The body's on the outside and we think we're all, the light is trapped in there, but really the body's inside the light. Ashe? By a police sergeant and was ahead, yes. Let me see what you said. I got shot at in 2016 in point blank range. You got a lot of changes happening. What was happening in 2016? You should look at the chart of 2016 and go back to that day and see where the planets were aligned on that day, because the cosmos speak to us in those ways, in many ways. So like now with the Atlas doing what it's doing, it's speaking to us. It's like I said, it's like holding our hand and saying, here, let me take you to mama. Let me take you to mama universe. You see her? It's like it's holding our hand right now. It came like there is no such thing as a coincidence. It came this close to us to hold our hand and be like, look, there she go. There she go. There go mama right there. And everything is facing it. So it brings everything into the new. So this cycle is saying it's something new. At the end of this Sagittarius cycle, there's something new. Before we go into Capricorn season, before we go back into the earth, right? Into the earth element, the fire, this mutable fire that we've been in has been allowing us to like shift shape, to change shape, right? To move. There are right now, as this is happening, 4 planets here. There are about 6 planets in the mutable arena, right? And let's not forget the nodes, the north node and the south node. Although they're not planets and they're not a celestial body, they're nodes, they're points, coordinate points on the ecliptic plane, which highlights or amplifies what Atlas is highlighting to us. Like, I could just go on about Atlas. Like, we're gonna have to do a couple of videos about Atlas. I have some more coming up because there's so much that it is helping us to see and highlighting us. So there's that information that I told you about. There is the ecliptic plane where it's helping us to come from south node in Virgo into north node in Pisces, into a spiritual maturation. The house of Pisces is our spiritual house. So there's no coincidence that it's exiting after that as it comes closest to Jupiter. That's the last planet in our system that it's, interfacing with. As it came in, it interfaced with Mars, Venus, the Sun, Earth, and Jupiter. These are the main celestial bodies that it interfaces with, and after it interfaces with Jupiter, it leaves. And Jupiter, see, this is an interplay, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So right now you can see is a very pivotal point in helping us to see the expansion of wisdom, Sagittarius, and it's expansion of wisdom because it's taking us into infinity and beyond, into the wisdom of the dark, into the wisdom of the feminine energy, which is receptive activity, which is all information. Our instructions come through the receptive activity before we can create, before the creative activity. So instructions come first. Receptive activity being the feminine energy, instructions. And so it bridges that for us. And that information is coming through around winter solstice, the darkest night, those 3 nights of darkness, where the nights are the longest, where the sun dies. On winter solstice is the stillness of the sun, not that the sun literally dies. And that is a moment, it's happening right now at this point. Just as you leave Sagittarius, then here, before going, as you enter into the earth, the earth, the earth element, It's saying here, after you've been lit up by the fire, you go into the earth element, and it's highlighting here. This is what you do next. Now, I need you to put out that light. Put out that light, and just for a moment, put that ego away. That is that the sun represents the ego phase of mind, the conscious phase of mind. And it's to put that ego down for a moment. Humility, a tremendous amount of humility, that is the ego death moment, to allow the wisdom of the night to pour into you, to download all that you've been getting, all that she's been lining up for you while we were facing Sagittarius, and allowing us to see what is happening into the dark, into the night, without knowing exactly what it is, but it's allowing that information to come. Faithfully, I'm making sense. Faithfully, you get what I'm saying. And let me bring it back to Jupiter. So Jupiter ruling Sagittarius, as Sagittarius, use that startup, as Sagittarius is highlighting pivotal everything for us right now. Then when it reaches Jupiter, it's that planet of expansion again, expanding us again into remembering the wisdom while we're in the spiritual house. So wisdom in the spiritual house, wisdom to spiritual maturation, if that makes sense. Oh, let me scroll up. Let's see. I keep thinking this is my glasses. Like, no, it's my crown. I'm crowning. Oh my gosh, speaking of the crown, this Schumann resonance, it also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it activated, I don't know if activated is a word, but around the same time of this Schumann resonance peak earlier today was another quake, another earthquake. And this is how you know all of this stuff is very interactive. The closer Third Eye Atlas was getting to Earth, the more the Earth was turning over, the more there were earthquakes, there were floodings. I don't know how many of you noticed that there were floodings everywhere, because the waters, it's opening the floodgates. The waters represent the emotional body, the sacral chakra. Emotions have to move. Energy and motion has to move. So all of this was happening in the earth. So you know it's very interconnected with this messenger, and it's sending these vibrations, these sound waves, this resonance into the earth, and the earth shakes a little bit. But it's allowing, it's not for punishment, it's allowing the release wherever there needs to be release. So wherever there was pent-up tension in the earth, wherever there was let's say toxicity in the collective imprint in particular parts of the land, wherever there has been tied up blockages that need the floodgates to open, that is what is happening. And if people really pay attention in particular areas where this is happening, they will know, especially where there are floods, that it is time for us to become unstuck. These are areas where there's energy that is stuck there, where there were deeds that were done that people are not acknowledging as a collective. And that is the accountability. So just like we need individual accountability, we need collective accountability in particular places within the earth. And it's time for that collective to pay attention to it. Even in Jamaica, as I was talking about Jamaica, and that's where my ancestral lineage is from. And so what happened with Melissa, the hurricane, and the floods and everything, that land is filled with corruption, and there's so much that has happened in that land, not just through slavery and all of that, including Haiti. Look at all the other ones that got it. It wasn't just Jamaica. It's Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba. There's so much that happened in that land, in those areas, particularly through slavery, that has not had true accountability as a collective. And that accountability is what can transcend. So this is why certain things are happening in certain places, just to share that. Let me bring it back to the point, so I digress. So that Schumann resonance signaled some kind of earthquake, if you will. They're not going to say exactly. If you look it up, If you Google it, they're probably not going to connect it. Those of us who know. But they're not going to say, oh, yeah, the Schumann resonance is the reason for this. But we all know that that spike in the Schumann resonance that happened when Third Eye Atlas came the closest to Earth is obviously a response to that close encounter. And then that earthquake is also a response to that Schumann, that pink in the Schumann resonance. And it happened, crown, that's what I was saying, the crown chakra. It happened in that area, I believe, close to Kamchatka, where they've been having, in the Ring of Fire, where they've been having volcanoes and earthquakes recently, because that is the crown chakra region of the earth. It's not too far. If you look it up, you'll see that it's just a little bit north, south. It's a little bit more east of where they pinpoint the crown chakra, but you know that it's that whole area. So it's the crown chakra area. And so what that says is all information that's, cosmically coming to the earth. Remember, the crown chakra is our gateway. So the earth is receiving it into her gateway, into her crown. So anything that's felt right now, mostly, is why we're seeing so much activity in that little region, in that area. Right? So I say that as I remember the crown. So we are opening our crowns. And as we work with the new moon, it is working from the crown chakra going down, which is opposite of the full moon. With the full moon, I usually work from the root going up. When I do my root chakra workshops, when I do my chakra moon workshops with the full moon, it's working from the root going up. But with the new moon, I'm usually working from the crown going down, because with the new moon, you're manifesting. And to manifest, you have to open up your crown to allow divine ideas to flow in and through and down. So from the crown going down. So we're operating from the crown with this new moon. That's why I'm, adorning with my crown. Ashe. Anyway, let me go. I could go on and on. I'll be here all night. So I gotta have a cutoff point. Oh, I'm a Virgo. I got a lot of Virgo placements. I'm practically a Virgo, even though I'm a Libra. I don't have an ego. Everybody got an ego. We all do. I just felt a lot of pressure in my third eye. Ooh. Tap that third eye. Tap it. Take some deep breaths. Allow it to open back up. Breathe. Right? A lot of pressure because it's probably contracting. There's something that it's like, so just tap it and allow it to release. Probably because you don't see that you have an ego. Because right before that, I'm going to just go off rip with what Spirit is showing me. Right before that, you just said, I don't have an ego. And the third eye knows better, because we all have an ego, right? And I don't mean this. The thing we have to understand is that it's ego. There's misappropriated ego and there's the wise ego, but there's ego nonetheless. Ego usually gets a negative connotation to it, because everybody thinks, oh, the ego is bad. And that's because every time we do something bad, we are operating out of our ego, because we go off into ourself without the connection to the divine. And therefore, we take on the misappropriated ego. The conscious phase of mind is the will to do and the ego to do, the executive branch of your soul, of your consciousness, right? Give you a little consciousness 101, soul conscious 101. The soul, the entire soul or consciousness is a 3-part. It's super conscious, conscious, and subconscious. The super conscious is your spirit, is your direct connection to spirit. It is your Christ consciousness, what they call your Christ consciousness, or your Heru. Your subconscious is the feminine energy, or the receptive activity. It is the feelings, it is the emotion, it is the understanding, it is the intuition. Your conscious phase of mind, where we do most of our work in this world consciously, our conscious phase of mind is the will to do, it is the thinker, it is the decision maker, it is the executive, it is our ego that makes the decision. And it is for us to be in our wise ego that makes the difference. And this is why I tell people it's not to get rid of your ego. Shadow work or ego death is not to kill your ego. It is to essentially kill your misappropriated ego. It is to have that misappropriated ego be gone. That is the set, that you be set tripping in your mind. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, what I'm explaining to you too. Let me give you a little Kemetic spice, sprinkle a little Kemetic 101 in there. The Kemetic story of Heru, Asar, and Aset is that same consciousness. Heru is the superconscious, Aset is the subconscious, and Asar / Set is the conscious phase of mind. Remember that Set killed Asar, or Osiris, as they may try to call it, as they seem to call it, but I give it the Kemetic name. And that is when your misappropriated ego overrides who you really are. You are truly the king, Asar, but when you allow your misappropriated ego to get away with things, or whatever the reason is, it becomes Set. Set dethrones Asar, and your ego starts to be set tripping. It starts to be Set of the underworld, so to speak. Faithfully, I'm making sense. Faithfully. And so this is what kind of helps, what I want to say, it kind of depicts what's happening in our consciousness. That story of Asar, Set, and Heru is a story of your own soul's consciousness and what's happening. And then when Set kills Asar, dethrones Asar, kills Asar, dismembers, meaning disconnect Asar. So Asar is not connected to its true self anymore. It's dismembered. The pieces are all dismembered, and it is Aset that has to remember. She has to go and reconnect all his pieces and remember them, reconnect them together. So she, who represents the feminine energy and the memories of the subconscious, she brings the memories, pieces them together. And this is how she brings back her king, Asar, so to speak. But it is in her actively doing the remembering that she becomes impregnated with Heru. So in her doing this work, she opens the pathway to the superconscious mind, Heru, the birth of Heru. And it is Heru that has to fight Set. It is the superconscious mind. This is why Christ said, I of myself can do nothing. It is the superconscious mind that has to come in and restore Asar in its risen state. So I know that was like a little story off the cuff, but just to kind of highlight how our ego plays a part, if that makes sense. Ashe? Earth purging. Earth purging. That's why I'm absent. Absent woman can't match my energy. Ooh, that's a story in and of itself. I read that and my eye just jumped and twitched like, what? Wait, what? I don't want to go into that because I know that's going to be a whole nother story, but there is a harmonizing for us all. And we have to realize that when you have that balance within yourself, when you can balance that feminine and masculine energy within you, and you can respect that harmony within you and that sacred union within you, then you can have a sacred union outside of you that is beneficial to you. That makes the world of a difference. So it may seem like there is no counterpart, but who am I to tell? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. So some people are at different points in their life where it's like, no, that's not for me right now. So I'm not saying, yes, you have to go get somebody. But a lot of times we still have to respect that sacred union within ourselves, if that makes sense. Ashe. So with that, Whew. Okay, Spirit is saying, all right, did a lot. I'm just really pumped and excited about these energies. I'm definitely going to drop a video about the new moon and a little bit more of information. I'm going to tune more, do more of my um, meditation tomorrow and kind of bring it together, because there's so much of information and I kind of got to piece it, pull it apart. Definitely willing to share that new moon energy so you can see what is what. Um, Embrace the closeness. Embrace this close encounter with Third Eye Atlas. Embrace the new moon energy and the winter solstice, as it has so much that it is offering, that it is bringing to us. And I'll speak more about what other parts that Third Eye Atlas is highlighting. Not just what I've mentioned, but there's another part where it's helping us from the age of the ram, helping us to get it out of those old ages. And I'll connect all of those pieces as well, and we'll get into that. But thank you for sharing this moment, this night, during this live. And you know, ashe to that, and we'll see what way we can find a way to get this one-on-one. Ashe. Deep, deep, deep. It's all deep and steep, right? Deep and steep. I saw mysterious white horse in my backyard. You'd have to look up the, I would say look up the spiritual meaning of horse. I usually have to look up what the spiritual meaning of these animals are and what it means for you. Like, we can all say what it means, but I like to tell people we're all interpreters. So look at what it means for you. When you saw it, what did you feel? Because I can even pull it up and I can tell you what a white horse, you know, represents, but it's what it resonates for you when you saw it. White usually means not that white because it's white, it's pure, but usually it represents a type of purification or purity, purifying. So something being purified or pure. And then the horse can have different meanings. So look at what was the feeling that you got when you saw it. A feeling of safety, a feeling of, you know, sternness. Like there's some feeling that you got with it, and it's the purity of that feeling, if that makes sense. It felt holy. See, purity is something pure, and it's something that a horse usually represents like a certain type of stability and sternness, not so what's the word, sturdy, you know, strong back horse, like something type of strong and sturdy, and a carrier of things. It carries, it's a vehicle, it's a mode of transportation as well. So pure mode of transportation, pure stability. What does that resonate for you? And that's how you would have to look at it. All right. I invite all of us to really get engaged in this 3-day cosmic event. Even though the 19th was the day that it came the closest, it still resonates. You still feel that resonance. A lot of us have been feeling it even before this day, as the days amped up. You know, the earth felt it. That's why there was another flooding in, I believe it was in Indonesia on the Sunday before. So at least a week before these cosmic events, we begin to feel something stirring. And it's very potent 3 days before. Always 3 days before and 3 days after. It's very potent. So while you're still in this energy within these 3 days, allow yourself to feel what messages the cosmic messenger is bringing to you. And allow yourself to get rid of old stories. As I said earlier, I was sharing with mine, the old story was, I'm no longer going to be the victim of that particular story where I feel this type of way based on the perspective and what was done to me that incites this feeling. And it's like, I don't want to play that story anymore, and I don't want to give power or credence to that. So it's time for us to ask ourselves, what is that thing that we're shifting out of? Because that's what it's helping us to release in order to release our soul, as in renew. Like when you get a new lease, this manifestation is helping us to renew our lease on the next level of our life. And we're expanding and extending. So allow yourself to feel what that is for you. And I know, like I said, for me, it was just the message. I don't know if I said this earlier, and I don't want to close without saying this. So a message that I got was surrender. I believe I posted it. Surrender. I surrender to my peace within. Surrender to the peace within you. I surrender to the peace to my peace within, to embrace the changes without. Because on the external, there's going to be a lot of changes. Surrender to that peace within you. Let peace be still in you so that you can hear, so that you can listen without biases. That's what I mean by surrender. Surrender your misappropriated ego and the will, to your personal will, to dive into these feelings of hurt and disappointment and grief and guilt and pain, all of these fear-based thoughts and feelings. Surrender that to a place of peace within you. Be still in that peace so that you can gain a truer perspective and you can embrace all the changes for what they are. I, for one, have acknowledged that in my higher self, I'm here for this. I'm here for these challenges. When you change the perspective, it helps you to dismantle what you feel may be coming up against you, because you just let it go in that way. You say, you know what? This is a challenge that has come to bring me an opportunity. Every challenge is to trigger you, to sound the alarm in your soul so that your soul can pick up on what's happening and become aware to the remembering. It's only an alarm to help you in the remembering, to having a soul synapses. And when I look at it like that, everything that triggers me, it becomes further and further away from me. It becomes a lesser detail. It becomes less important. And this is how we move away from the shadows of Virgo, which is about details. I could care less about the details. Sometimes we got to tell our feelings that. You feel some type of way? Okay, cool. I could care less about that. Give me the instruction out of that feeling. Since feelings are indicators and they instruct, give me the instruction. I don't need to take this personal. I don't need to take this personal in my human suit and in my flesh. Give me the instructions. And my peace be still. And then you zoom out and you see the bigger picture, and it's like, oh, thank you. We learn to appreciate. That's how you transmute. And you appreciate, oh, this thing has come to teach me, to show me, to alarm my soul that, hello, I'm a part of the remembering. I'm here for something bigger than that. So extract what you need to extract out of your soul. Remove that story from your misappropriated ego, and let's keep it going. That's the blessing of these messages, and it's bringing you to a higher awareness in that. So keep your eye. Look at Mama Universe as Sagittarius is really get a last look before we shift into Capricorn this last day, Saturday, and just look at Mama Universe and say thank you. Thank you for the alarms that I've been getting. Thank you, Third Eye Atlas. Thank you, the Schumann Resonance. Thank you, all challenges that are simply my opportunities for my multidimensional soul to raise its vibration so that I can remember and be like, oh yeah, that's right. That's why this is supposed to happen to me, because it needed to trigger this issue so I can dig deep, find it in my past life, find it in my karmic imprint, release it so I can find my new lease in life, my new lease on my new timeline. Ashe? So I'm a because I'll keep going. I even brought the cards, y'all. I thought I was gonna pull some cards, some new moon cards. So what I might do is just do it myself, and whatever I pull, I'll share that in the actual video with the cards, or I may do a Saturday night live with the new moon. I'm still in a new moon energy tomorrow. Ashe. Thank you for those who came through. Are we back to 5 again? 5. That's change. You are here for change. 5 is physical, spiritual, balance, change, and more change. So, as I said, I surrender to my peace within to embrace the changes without. So shall it be, and it shall be so. Ashe. Peace, love, and light. Enjoy your cosmic delights and events. Ashe.